The Disney adult thing is a real problem. I don't think people understand how big of an issue it is.
If you walked around a Disney park today, you'd probably notice something strange, and you'd ask yourself, where are all the children? The Disney parks are now filled with adults getting drunk in bars, eating thousands of calories worth of snacks, TikTokers taking pictures in the women's bathrooms, and worst of all, putting themselves into massive amounts of debt to go to Disney parks. Disney parks are now filled with some of the most cringe individuals to walk the planet, also known as Disney adults.
Cringe 是现在网络超常用的词，看到有人做很蠢的事，你会脚趾抠地，那个感觉就叫 cringe.
There's countless videos on YouTube which criticize Disney adults for the way they act like children and are really cringe. I want to look at Disney adults from another perspective. What is the financial cost of being a Disney adult? From over-consumerism, having to buy every single product Disney releases, every single...
Why are they all fat? Isn't that crazy?
Limited edition piece of merch, to the limited edition must-eat snacks to try at every park, and even the cost of just getting into the parks. How on earth do these people afford it?
This couple, they spent $21,000 in 1 month when they make $7,000 a month. They're obsessed with Disney.
例句 I was obsessed with dinosaurs as a kid. 我小时候对恐龙非常着迷。
Lots of Disney adults are. They spent $2,000 on Disney exclusive passes and then went to Disney World, spent a lot of money on that. Then they're going to Disney World 2 times next month and then 1 time in the summer.
40 years ago, trips to Disney were easy and pretty affordable for the average family. All you have to think about was your ticket, a hotel if you want to stay for a few days, and whatever food you fancied eating at the park. Going to Disney today, however, is a totally different story. It's a stack of microtransactions that add up.
Microtransaction 是 micro 加 transaction 组成的字，是现代游戏产业，尤其是手游的核心营收来源。
Leaving guests broke by the time they leave. A Disney World ticket in 1971 cost $3.50. And if inflation were the only factor, it would cost around $27 today. Now, a one-day ticket starts at $189. Making Disney more expensive has been a key strategic goal by the company, conveniently amplified by the term Disney adult growing in popularity around 2015. The trend and term instantly became a meme, with people laughing at their own obsession with Disney, bawling their eyes out from meeting their favorite characters.
Bawl 等于大声哭、嚎啕大哭，合起来就是哭到眼睛快没了。
Pooh, I've waited 30 years to meet you. Oh my God.
I hate this shit.
There was one very important thing that Disney realized that these obsessive adult fans had that the kids do not, and that was money. As the parks expanded and people were willing to spend more, Disney piled on extra charges since 2016. Dynamic pricing, paid parking, Fast Pass Plus, paid ride reservations, special event reservations, dining plans, photo pass, all while removing free services like the free Fast Pass and the free airport transport services. When you take a look at how these services increase the price so dramatically, it's actually pretty scary. The Fast Pass Plus also uses dynamic pricing. So if the park is extremely busy and the rides are popular, the price for the Fast Pass Plus will be too. Dropping $500 for a Fast Pass is genuinely insane, and it's only for 1 day too. But the sad thing is, because the parks are so busy, you pretty much have to buy the Fast Passes unless you only want to go on 3 or 4 rides and wait in queues for hours. Is it really worth the £500 difference?
The problem is, like, you have these people that have a lot of money, or they go into debt, right? There's also that too. And they just don't care. Remember that family of retards? They can't think more than 15 minutes ahead of time. This is the same thing.
It's basically unavoidable if you want to spend more time on the rides and waiting in the queues. All of these additional costs slowly add up, forcing guests to spend more without even realizing it, adding to their Disney debt. For over 40 years, you couldn't have alcohol at a lot of Disney's parks, with a few exceptions of course. But flash forward to now, and alcohol is one of the big reasons Disney adults come to the parks, offering an absolutely insane variety of alcoholic drinks available in all of the parks. But it's not just a few cocktails here and there, and they've even developed a famous drinking game in Epcot known as Drinking Around the World.
Epcot 是佛罗里达迪士尼世界的4大主题乐园之一，分为4个主题区域：庆典世界、发现世界、自然世界和展览世界。影片中提到的 Drinking Around the World 就是在展览世界区的酒吧喝酒
，where guests spend up to 6 hours on a bar crawl through 8 themed countries, each with a cocktail inspired by the place they're in.
This is your sign to get drinking around the world tattoos forever.
tell you how we're gonna make it happen. Let's take a ride and spend the day in the countryside.
Disney is catering
Yeah.
more towards Disney adults, who have a lot more money to spend than the children. Selling alcoholic drinks is much more lucrative than sodas alone.
The reason why I don't drink, by the way, is this shit was expensive.
Serving alcohol also changes who comes to Disney and why. Instead of it being for kids' birthdays or special occasions for kids, it's now a place for adult-only holidays. Alcohol
Jesus.
also encourages guests to stay longer, spending
Yeah, of
more
course.
time in the bars and restaurants, conveniently buy more food. I don't know about you, but when I've had a drink, I get absolutely starving.
酒精会让你的血糖先升后降，低血糖会让你疯狂想吃碳水化合物。
And
I
it
don't
seems
drink.
like Disney knows this too. Trying the snacks are just as important as going on the ride. The snacks are also ridiculously expensive,
How much?
often between $10 to $20. And the most ridiculous thing that I found was literally a stick with one piece of bacon on it for $10. The snacks are already expensive, but slap a Mickey shape on there and you instantly pay more for just a shape.
Some basic theme park
That's
snacks
healthy
that
in
happen to
moderation.
be
I don't
Mickey
eat fat.
shaped and then cost $5 million. You'll spend almost $8 on a Mickey pretzel that is just okay, so I recommend instead spending that money on the pepper jack pretzel at Cheshire Cafe.
But
It's
it's
a warm pretzel
$7.
stuffed with gooey pepper jack cheese, and it's just way more worth it in my opinion. Mickey bars are obviously iconic, but they're $6 for a basic chocolate ice cream bar. So instead, you can get a fresh single scoop of ice cream at Plaza Ice Cream Parlor with Mickey ears for $4.99.
That's like $1. Like you're talking about spending $5 or $6 for an ice cream cone, and you want to act like the $1 difference. Oh wow, I'm saving money. Like it's not even a big deal.
They're often spending over $50 on just snacks alone, and not even considering the main meals that they'll be having throughout the day.
This is a work of art. This is a work of art.
Corn dog nuggets is $10.
This is a
Gideon's Bakehouse cookie, that's $6.
is a work of art.
That's crazy. $8.29 for some strawberries? Some strawberries in a waffle? Can't you get this at IHOP for like $3?
IHOP 是美国一家连锁餐厅，全名叫 International House of Pancakes。他们的招牌是各种口味的松饼。
This is a work of art.
That's crazy. That should not be $10.
Couples going to the parks together will often be spending over $100 every day just on snacks. This is just simply too much to try.
Hey
Probably not
everyone,
doing a lot
we're
of
plus size
sitting.
park hoppers, and this is everything we ate in a day as plus size best friends at Disney's Magic Kingdom. We started our day by having lunch at the Plaza restaurant on Main Street. We find that the food tastes better than any of the quick service options available at Magic Kingdom, and it's pretty affordable too. Katie started off with the Plaza loaded fries, which can be made gluten-free. These come with melted cheddar, bacon, green...
Wait a minute. So hold up real quick. That's $15? You could get the Baconator fries at Wendy's for like $3.70.
onion and spicy
That's
sour
nothing.
cream. Ashley and I both got the triple-decker turkey club sandwich. This sandwich is really good, and it's our go-to every time
Okay.
we go. We also
That's all
thought
right.
that the portion was pretty big for the price. Katie got the Chipotle barbecue pork sandwich with a gluten-free bun. And for dessert, she had a strawberry milkshake. And Ashley and I
$6.
split the candied bacon skewer from Westward Ho. This was the perfect combination of salty and sweet, and also who doesn't love a snack on a stick? Before we left the park, we were thirsty for ice cream, so Katie headed over to Aloha Isle and got the coconut pineapple Dole Whip. Then Ashley and I headed over to the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. We each got the All-American Sundae, which is one of our favorite sweets in Magic Kingdom. When we got back to Saratoga Springs, we headed to the Artist Palette for dinner. Ashley and I both got the shrimp with green beans and mashed...
No way you bought that shit in a box for that's crazy. Like that is a ridiculous amount of money to spend on.
He eats nearly 5,000 calories worth of food and snacks at the park in a single...
No. Real quick, Craig, real quick. That's what she says she ate. And everybody knows that is the probably tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg 就是指你看到的只是一小部分，真正的问题还很大。
Now, I totally agree when you're at Disney, you should eat whatever you want, because it's a treat and you probably won't go again for a few years. But the plus-size park hoppers seem to be going to a park every week. This isn't cheap, nor is it healthy.
They go
Now,
there.
the plus-size park hoppers do have a social media presence, so
Wow.
they might be able to afford this. But normal Disney adults are doing this too. They're going to Disney way more than they can afford and eating way more than they can afford to. They're so consumed by Disney that they totally let themselves go wild and have no boundaries when it comes to indulging and consuming whatever they want. whether it's food, merchandise, or going to the parks multiple times a year. And for all of these reasons that we've looked at, it's no wonder why so many people have gone into debt just to be able to go to Disney. 45% of guests with young children have gone into debt to be able to go to Disney.
I'm going to say real quick, going into debt to take your kids to Disneyland, I will be infinitely more supportive of that than going into debt to take yourself to Disneyland. You want to make sure your kids have a good childhood, they get to grow up and remember a good experience.
Many Disney adults explain their obsession with Disney as being a result of not having a proper childhood. There's many children who grew up in households that couldn't afford to go to Disney, or they had some sort of trauma, but that shouldn't be worth going into thousands of dollars of debt for.
I've been trying to plan a Disney cruise.
迪士尼目前有8艘邮轮在海上航行，邮轮上有角色见面会、主题餐厅、表演秀等等。
How much is that going to cost?
So the price for the week we needed to go was going to be $8,000 for the cruise.
Oh my! That is a month of your income, lady!
Wait a minute, so she makes $8,000 a month? And how you have money problems, that's $96,000 a year.
I get wanting to go on expensive holidays, I really do. But the best thing you can do instead is to be financially stable first. If you absolutely need to get away, there are so many things you can do for cheap. And to put it into perspective just how expensive Disney trips can get, this guy spent over 30 grand to take his entire family to Disney.
We stayed here for a little over a week and it was about 30 grand.
Did you use any debt to pay for that trip?
No, we had savings that we had.
On Caleb Hammer's financial audit, a Disney adult couple joined the show to talk about their insane debt and why they still choose to go to Disney despite this.
You spent $1,000 on just being at Disney, on here.
And they're all my age, by the way. Keep this in mind. This is really important to keep in mind.
Next month, both trips we're going on, we're going with other people.
Call them and say, oh wait, I forgot that I'm literally a poor.
I think going to Disney is more important than getting out of debt. That they even add to it. Debt is no joke. And people like this tend to forget that. It can ruin your life. They can lose their houses, their cars, their entire livelihoods. And even for people who try to just avoid going into debt just to visit the parks, Disney has created new schemes to entice them to. In this video, a woman shares her story of how she was essentially duped into a points-based scheme at Disney that ended up leaving her with significant debt.
2 years ago, our family took a trip to Disney and we impulsively purchased the Disney Vacation Club. If you don't know what the Disney Vacation Club is, it's kind of like a timeshare for Disney World. Except instead of having one specific resort or specific weeks of the year that you get to use it, it's a point system. You buy a certain number of points, and then those points can get redeemed at any DVC resort any time of the year that they have availability. That means you can end up staying at Disney World properties, Disneyland properties, and they also have other DVC resorts like in Hawaii and in Europe, so it definitely provides like a lot of opportunity to travel. There were some incentives when we purchased, so the total cost of financing was around $27,000. Now, was this stupid? Yes, I know that.
Financing 27 grand worth of Disney is just absolutely insane to me. There's so many things that you could do with that money instead of buying a Disney holiday. Ultimately, I can understand why parents want to take their kids to Disney even though they're in debt, but there are ways to make it cheaper. They can stay off-site instead of the park hotels, bring some of their own food and drinks, and maybe even stay for a shorter time. But Disney adults, I think if you have so much debt already and will be going into more debt just to go to Disney, I just don't think it's worth going, to be honest. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I don't understand how people can do this themselves. I really don't. Like, I think it's so embarrassing to see this, right? The only thing that I have that's negative to say about Disney about this whole thing is that, like, y'all charge way too much money. It's not affordable, number one. And number two, stop selling alcohol at a kid's park. I just think that's weird, man. Like, I don't like the idea that people that are drunk, I don't think kids should be seeing that. When I feel like a person can't control their own inhibitions and their own desires, I think of them as less than a person. Like, whether this is an addiction, whether it is a fixation, whether it's another form of pathology, whatever it is, like, if somebody can't control themselves, and I'd say it makes you like an animal, but even you can get a dog, you can train a dog to do this, right? Like, if you can't control yourself, are you really a human being? And, like, you know, I have my answer to that. You know, so that's the way that I look at it. I'm gonna link y'all the video, give it a like.
影片结束了，帮大家复习一下今天学的英文。Cringe 尴尬到不行 ，obsessed 上瘾 ，microtransaction 微交易小额付费 ，bawling my eyes out 哭到死去活来 ，tip of the iceberg 冰山一角。